Good day, everyone. This is a brief narration. I thought I should share it, and I'm sharing it with a very heavy heart and trepidation, as this is rather very personal and classified. On 14 June 2018, I was subjected to the most unanticipated deceit and rape by my personal doctor, Dr. Kenneth Ikwegbue. He's a UK practicing gynecologist, and at the time he was residing at 11 Railway Street, Chelmsford, CM1 1 Quebec Sugar. And he was working in Broomfield Hospital, Chelmsford, and studying part-time. I had been suffering a severe case of menorrhagia that had continuously endured endlessly from month to month for over 4 years. I had sought different medical help, tests, treatments and advice, but all to no avail. One of the doctors I consulted recommended I took neurotestosterone, but due to its extreme side effects with a strong possibility to cause cancer, I did not take the medication. There was no break or stop in the bleeding as I bled 30 days every other month. The doctors confirmed I did not have fibroid, and I sought help diligently. Upon meeting Dr. Kenneth Ikwegbue, he convinced me of his expertise in such issues and strongly opined that it was largely due to hormonal imbalance, and that the fact I had decided to stay celibate was possibly an aggravating factor deteriorating my health condition. He said he could treat me, placing me on a therapy whereby he had to stimulate my cervix, and he assured me that with time my hormones would stabilize and the menstrual flow would return to normalcy. I was skeptical about this procedure as he did not recommend any medical tests or prescriptions. He said it was more practical than medical, and he said I should pay him cash for every treatment. He recommended his home address at 11 Railway Street, Chelmsford, CM1 1QS. I was eager to be well, so I considered to the idea, trusting he would be professional. He commenced the cervix stimulation therapy, and to my utter dismay, upon examining my vagina, he claimed I was not a virgin. I had consciously kept my virginity for over 30 years, and that sowed seeds of doubts in my heart as to whether I had been unconsciously defiled without my knowledge. In the first month of the therapy, my period only flowed for about 7 days instead of the usual 25 to 30 days of non-stop bleeding. I was impressed and thankful. He continued every week, and within 2 months, I was surprised to have a normal menstrual flow of about 5 to 6 days. I asked him why the other doctors did not suggest this procedure all this time. He said not everyone was as good as he was. He said if he ever stopped the therapy, my period would revert back to its original condition. I got worried when he vehemently began to make strong sexual advances at me, and he proposed sex would be a perfect treatment for the condition. I told him I had made religious vows to abstain from sex. He was insistent and physically dominating, though he would get apologetic after. So I decided to break away from him gradually, though I feared the reverse of my healing progress achieved so far. But if that was the price to pay, I was willing to let go. It was during the summer, and due to the change in the weather, I had a severe cold and cough. He suggested that my body was already reacting to an imbalance just as he had predicted, and he suggested I came over for some checkup. I vehemently warned him to refrain from all sexual thoughts or attempts, and he gave me his word not to. Upon arriving, he examined me and gave me some strong antibiotic medications for the cough. He had got a new stereo set and had music blaring so loudly. I asked what the occasion was, and before I knew it, he had locked the doors and pounced on me. I begged and screamed out loud helplessly, but no one could hear me as it was afternoon of a weekday with most people at work and the loud deafening music impeding anybody from coming to my rescue. He claimed I was not a virgin anyways and I had nothing to lose, and that the sex would guarantee a permanent healing of the bleeding condition. I struggled defiantly, but he overpowered me. He pinned me facing down and he shoved his dick inside me from my back. Instantly, I bled out to confirm I was truly a virgin. I cried bitterly and tried to call the police for help. He seized my phones and he covered my mouth and nose. I could not breathe, and I feared he was going to strangle me. I tried to run out of his place naked, but he blocked the exit to the door, and he insisted I must calm down and keep things silent in the interest of my safety. I had to comply in fear. He let me out, pleading that I did not divulge a word of this to anyone about it. He released my phone, and I rushed off to the bathroom, naked. There I made a video of my virginity blood, whilst he stood outside the door, loudly warning me not to jeopardize his career or his life. I have records of the video and our text and our WhatsApp conversations as proof. When I came out of the bathroom, he had arranged the entire room to disprove any possible claims of force or rape. He said he did not ejaculate inside of me anyways, so there was no proof of his sperm in me. He advised I should not say a word, as it would all boomerang. It would be his word against mine, and he would deny every word of it to the police. He apologized, saying I should forgive and help him just as he had helped me, that he had a strong sexual drive and could not help himself. I was physically weak and mentally exhausted. Upon confiding in my family about the ugly incident, my mother advised that attracting public attention and making a big case would not restore my virginity or undo the damage done. I struggled to accept this inhumane deception and put behind me all the bitterness, hate, betrayal, and victimization. But every day of silence has left me dehumanized and burning with grief on the inside. My heart cannot stop pondering about the possibility of him taking advantage of another sick woman or girl. A rapist practicing as a gynecologist is a roaming danger to every woman, mother, wife, daughter or sister. This has been weighing on me, and even though I have missed the opportunity of apprehending him at the time of the rape incident, I will be morally responsible for any other victims if I do not pre-warn the necessary authorities to avert any possible future probabilities. I am only sharing this out of a sense of moral duty and would like to stay anonymous, but if you must, it is pertinent that the whole world gets to know about the medical practitioner disguising as a medical doctor, but truly he is a rapist with no self-control. How he can examine a woman as a gynecologist and administer treatment beats everyone hollow. I took it upon myself to write a petition about him to the General Medical Council, Britain, and also to the police, and I have forwarded all the evidence and proof against him. But as the law dictates that I must come out and be identified, thereby losing my anonymity, and this is something I do not want to do, because he has already caused me so much psychological trauma, pain, torture, disillusionment, and mental stress. I cannot stand another emotional trauma on his account. I cannot stand the public attention, the public ridicule, the societal stigma. That will be him hurting me a second time, and I cannot have it. But I just thought I should share it to everybody to know. Because if we do not look out for each other, nobody else will. If one thing happens to one, it happens to everybody. So when we share it, we protect each other. We avert future reoccurrences. This is just an illuminating and eye-opening information for everyone.